Hey everyone, I just wanted to give you some pointers for your Delta Math review. Not necessarily new information, but just how to kind of type some stuff into Delta Math because it gets pretty picky. And so I went ahead and made a student account and I just did the review. And so it's very beneficial that you do this review because one, it's a grade, and two, it's going to look just like your test. Your test is going to be on Delta Math. So with that being said, I just finished the review. It only took me about 25 minutes, and I only have one page of scratch paper. It's 12 questions, so it's not that bad. Some are very quick and some are very short. You can do more questions. That's what I like about Delta Math, is if you want more practice on a particular concept, you can do more. If you have not already looked at the study guide that I gave you a study guide. I sent it out on Wednesday, so you might want to find that. I gave you the review and it was blank. If you haven't done that, that's fine because this is optional, but I gave you lots of hints in these boxes. So I suggest that you do at least look through those hints on how to do each one of those problems. This is kind of long, so it's just extra practice, so I'm not checking it, and you have the key, so you can do with it what you please. But I just want to show you, I just want to go through a couple of the types of questions here. So this one is the domain of the function. So really quickly, remember, domain is all of your x values. So it's your numbers across your x-axis. And I just want to show you something. If you can see the starting point of your graph, see this graph starts here and goes forever to the right. If you can see the starting point, you need to put that in a closed bracket. I'm not usually picky about these in school, but I can't unfortunately tell Delta Math to not be picky about it. So we're going to do it by the books. So if you can see the starting point, we need to put that in closed brackets. So the hard corner brackets. Just the where it starts. So it starts at x equals 1 and it goes forever. This arrow means it's going forever to the right. The number forever to the right is infinity. And for infinity and negative infinity, always go in circular brackets, always. So we want to submit this, and it's going to say, yep, I got it right. If I have a problem like this, you can have something like this, so don't worry about if it looks like this is totally fine to have something. Actually, we're actually going to not do this problem because you shouldn't. I'm going to make sure we don't get those. But here's a good problem. So here's another problem. This problem we have, we can not see the starting and the end point. So it goes on forever. This graph does seem to be going down to forever to 2. It looks like I have an asymptote at 2, but since it's going forever, it's getting really, really close to 2, but not quite hitting it. Since it's going there, I have to use circular brackets. We can't clearly see where it starts and finishes. And then it goes on forever to the right to infinity. Okay, the next thing I want to show you is multiplying, dividing rationals. This you should be able to do exactly. We did practice like this in the beginning. I don't have anything to show you in terms of how to do these problems. You know that you need to factor the numerators and the denominators. First things first, this is division, so you need to keep, change, flip. And then you need a separate piece of paper, factor the numerators and the denominators, and then cancel everything out and just write what you have left over. Remember, this is x squared minus 36. So you want to take the square root of both terms. We have cross multiply. So solve for all the values of x. When you have two things that equal to each other, you need to cross multiply and factor. So cross multiply, get all of your terms on one side and factor. There's an example on how to do these on your other review. You can ask, this would be a great question to ask me during our times that we can meet. And if you, this is target C, so make sure you look in your target C notes for this. Make sure you also check for an example. There's there's examples up here that you can do that will show you how to do each problem. And then you can go back to the original and try it yourself. So make sure you're taking some notes. When these questions say solve the following systems of equations algebraically, this is target C day 2. You can do this algebraically or in your calculator. So I tell you to use, even though it says algebraically, I'm not there to make sure that you're actually doing it. So why don't you try your calculator? And so you're just going to go ahead and put both of these things in your calculator. So you're going to add a graph. This one is x squared minus 34. So x squared minus 34, and then I need to enter another graph in. So I'm going to go to menu, graph edit slash entry function, and my next function is x minus 4. Oops, so I need to do that again. X minus 4. I put these steps on how to do this in your review. That's optional. There's steps there. There's lots of hints there. And you can't see, I know, I suggest you zoom out as much as you can where you can still see everything, because I can't see if these intersect again. So I couldn't see that, but now I can. And I need to find, my answer is going to be the points that they intersect. So I'm going to go to menu, analyze graph, intersection, lower bound. I'm going to do this intersection first, so lower bound's to the left, upper bound is to the right. And so I have one of my answers at -5, -9. I just wrote that down so I don't forget it. Where they intersect is an answer. So I have another intersection over here. So I have another answer. So I have to go to analyze graph, intersect, left, right. And then my other answer happens at 6, 2. So if I take that answer and I put it in Delta Math, I have -5, -9, and 6, 2. Submit my answer. Yep, and it's right. So I saved myself a lot of time not doing it algebraically. So I just suggest that you do it with your calculator. Finding vertical asymptotes, you have notes on this. This is target D, so you have to factor the numerator and the denominator. See if anything cancels. If anything cancels as a whole, then you've got a whole. And then anything that's left over after you cancel is going to be a vertical asymptote. If nothing cancels, like this example will have nothing cancel, you set your denominator equal to 0 and find your vertical asymptote. Horizontal asymptotes, you've got your 3 rules. Remember your 3 rules. If your numerator is greater than your denominator, if the degree of your numerator is bigger than the degree of your denominator, you don't have a horizontal asymptote. If your degree on your denominator is bigger than your numerator, then you have a horizontal asymptote of y equals 0. And if your 2 degrees are the same, then you take your leading coefficients of the term in front of it and make those a fraction. So here I have the degree of the numerator is greater than the denominator, so that means I have none. Oops, so I'm going to take this scroll bar and hit none and submit my answer, and it'll tell me that I'm right. So make sure you are using your notes for these. And then I have a separate video on how to do these problems. So please watch that video after this and you will be all set. If you have any questions, though, please feel free to message me at any time. Your best times to get me are your assigned class time. So make sure you check the schedule, and then any day during the office hours from 2 to 3. But still, you can message me at any time. I can guarantee instant feedback right away, right then and there. You can message me at night, but it may take me a little bit longer to get back to you, but that's just depending on what we're doing. But I miss you all, and I know you can do this stuff. Do not feel discouraged. You have until Sunday to take your test, so even if you turn this review in a little late, that's fine. But just take your time. You know this stuff. Don't be scared of the fact that you are not here with me learning this. Okay. I know it's been a while since you've seen some of this stuff, but you know this stuff. Please, please, please get comfortable using your notes. But take care and let me know how I can help you.